Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Hi, welcome to my show. I'm Nicola, Neal, Spirit Medium, chatting all things spirit, so coupled with spirit. And what I wanted to chat to you about this evening is that, in my experience, I want to have a talk to you about why spirit and your loved ones come through a medium or draw close to you at any particular moment in time. And this can be for varying reasons. However, the energy that comes through with them is always from love, and it's always with the intention of upliftment. And I say that with upliftment because your loved ones, when they draw close to you or when they communicate through a medium such as myself, or whomever else you seek out to bridge the worlds, it's always from a place of reassurance. So come with reassurance, especially if there are any situations that are going on within life right now, because they want to reassure you that they are there, supporting you in any way that they can. Sometimes it's about apologies, especially when things may have been left on a sour note, for instance, or there's history within the family or circumstances that have dictated how life has gone for the person left here through the actions of the person passed over. Because when we pass, I believe that and from my experience when I've communicated with loved ones and through my own team, is that when we pass, we get to do what's called a life review. So we have a look on how our behaviour has affected those around us. And at that point, I believe that we have the choice of moving forward and making amends for that. And that is when they come through, when they choose to do that. Loved ones come through with words of apology, with words of, I'm so sorry, I see the effect that that's had on you and my behaviour. Now, as the recipient, it is, of course, the individual choice of whether that apology is taken. But know that they will keep coming through until it is. This is the fact, you see, because that is healing for both them and for you as well. That forgiveness and that apology acceptance, to reiterate it. And also the other thing that they come through to say is that I'm here safe and sound. I mean, if you think, what's one of the first things you do if you go on holiday and you get to the other end? I know I've done it many, many times. You pick up the phone to your family and you say, oh, I'm here safe and sound, everything's fine, palm trees are lovely, the breeze and the cocktails, etc. Not that I'm saying that this is what your loved ones would say. I'm simply using that as an example of how they want to convey the fact that they're safe and sound within the spirit world, that they've arrived. They've met up with Auntie Doris and Uncle Arthur. They've met up with the pets that were once loved so much within the family. And they are visiting all the places that they've always maybe wanted to visit here when they were here in the physical world, but possibly never quite got to through life circumstance, so to speak. And within all of that, the main reason I would suggest in amongst all of that is to offer support and guidance along with the reassurance. And that support and the guidance is connected to what you're going through right now. And it could be also to help with maybe guilt that the loved one here, the recipient of the message, is experiencing and going through. Maybe because you feel that you didn't get there in time, you didn't get to the bedside in time, or you chose not to for your own reasons. Maybe there was a bit of bad blood, or maybe you just couldn't get there through locality. Maybe being on the other end of the side of the world, for instance, and being at the mercy of planes, trains, and automobiles, to coin a film phrase. But you see, at the end of the day, when we pass over, we get to know, and we see that the love, the enormity of the love that is connecting the worlds, connects you and them. And that love is eternal. That love is not only eternal, it's also the connection between you, which is what enables the communication to happen, you see. So please, in my experience, and I've in all of the 16, 17 years that I've been working with Spirit, I'm not once, in all the thousands of one-to-ones and shows that I've done, I've never had a communicator come through with anger or malice or hatred. It's always been one of those reasons. And if you can think of others through your own experiences of why their communication has happened, then please, I'll be very interested to read your comments. So feel free to pop those in the chat room or email me at info@nicolaneal.com. And they let you know that they are around you through signs, and say this could be through music, through feathers, butterflies. And I know I've touched on this before, so I won't delve too deeply into it again, my lovelies. And one of the things that I've been asked in the past, and I thought I would touch on today or this evening, is how can we honour them? How can we honour those that have gone before us? And I've actually asked this question to my team and to my own loved ones in the spirit world when I've connected and conversed with them. And it's to live our lives to the fullest potentials, to take the opportunities that present themselves. Because this could be answers to prayers as well. I mean, how many of us have sent a prayer out there, but then tried to control how that prayer is going to be answered, you see? And sometimes not getting what we wish for in a response can be a marvellous stroke of luck, because it creates the opening and the space for bigger, better things to come into fruition into our lives. And also, the other thing as well is to take a chance on life. Our lives are precious. And sometimes when we're going through difficult, painful times, it can be a challenge to see that. And spirit world and your loved ones especially wish you to know and to see you as they see you, which is an absolute radiant ball of love and energy and perfection. And just as though there are clouds in the sky, cloudy days don't last forever. The next day it could be sunny, you see. And so they really wish you to know that and remember that. And this wasn't part of my my notes, so to speak. So I trust and have faith that there's somebody either watching or listening that needs to know that and hear this right now, that, the rubbish times are never forever. And we all have, or you have 100% success rate of getting through rubbish times. And for some reason, I'm being urged just to talk to somebody. If you feel that every day is a gloomy day or is a cloudy day, please reach out and seek out an ear to listen before maybe the clouds get too dark, shall we say, so that you can no longer feel that you can see the light. And it may sound a little bit doom and gloom, but this is what I'm being urged to say. So I trust that is going to go to where it needs to go. So to live our lives to our fullest potential, what does that mean exactly? I would suggest it means to act on the inspiration that may come to you. And it may come in the form of a thought that's just dropped in. Or you suddenly get the urge to pick up a pen, or maybe the phone, or paintbrush even, or to cook a meal. It could be, or to book a ticket if that is what comes to you as well. It's about living life, not squandering a moment if it can be helped. And taking also, say, the opportunities that present themselves that come to you, that are the answers to prayers. So when we send those thoughts out, or how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And then suddenly maybe you'll get a phone call, or maybe there'll be a letter arrive in the post, or somebody says something to you and offers you maybe a work or a job or something like that. It could be anything. And this is the wonderful thing as well, is to be absolutely mindful and present. And because we really do, don't we? We get caught up in our minds. We get caught up in the doldrums of the day-to-day life. And when we set that time aside to be within the quiet space within our souls, when we do that, we create the space for those answers to our prayers to manifest. And I just want to leave you with this saying by a gentleman called Steve Maraboli from his publication, Unapologetically You, Reflections on Life and the Human Experience. And it goes, cemeteries are full of unfulfilled dreams, countless echoes of could have and should have, countless books unwritten, countless songs unsung. I want to live my life in such a way that when my body is laid to rest, it will be a well-needed rest from a life well lived, a song well sung, a book well written, opportunities well explored, and a love well expressed. So I'm going to leave you with that, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much for listening. And this is going to be posted up, and if you want to watch it again, or download it or save it, then feel free. And I really hope that my words have inspired or hit a nerve there with all that needed to hear and receive them this evening, because mediumship isn't just about the message, it's about the words as well. Thank you very much indeed for joining me here this evening at A Cuppa with Spirit. Thank you very much indeed.